Raceway, and the cars are coming between 3 and 4. One more time around, as the cars come between 3 and 4, we'll give you the lineups. It's looking this way. Steve Kinzer, Sammy Swindell, Bobby Davis, Ron Schumann, Danny Smith, Gary Scott, Jerry Potter, Al Unser Jr., Dick Morris, Jeff Swindell, Lee Osborne, Mike Thomas, Mike Peters, Shane Carson, Bill Millerburn, Darrell Dockery, Jack Hodenshield, Jim Gatch, Lib McSpadden, Tom Corbin, and Leroy Van Conant. And we'll have our eyes on our flagman as the cars come out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, out of turn 4 they come. The green flag's out, we're underway, down the front straightaway. A year later, Sammy Swindell running second, Steve Kinzer running third is Ron Schumann as they move between 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they go. A year later, Sammy Swindell, Steve Kinzer and the Bob Trosson spinner, Schumann low, trying to get around Kinzer between 3 and 4. Schumann low, Kinzer high as they come out of turn 4 for the first official lap. Down the front straightaway they go. Steve Kinzer still holding on for second as Sammy Swindell leads them down the back straightaway. Running fourth is Gary Scott. Running fifth is Danny Smith. Between 3 and 4 they go. Your leader, Sammy Swindell. Steve Kinzer holding second. Ron Schumann running third. Gary Scott running fourth. Jeff Swindell running fifth. Danny Smith running sixth. Al Unser Jr. running seventh as they move between 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. We got quite a pack towards the back of the pack as the cars begin to stretch out now just a little bit. 20 laps around the Knoxville half mile, second out of qualification for the 1980 Sprint Car National Championship. Down the front straightaway they go and into turn 1. A year later is Sammy Swindell. He's about 9 car lengths ahead of Steve Kinzer. Ron Schumann about 2 car lengths behind Kinzer as they move into 3. It's Kinzer high. Schumann trying to get in there on low side. He can't quite get it done. Out turn 4 they come. Still holding for fourth is Gary Scott. Running fifth is Jeff Swindell. Running sixth, Danny Smith. Running seventh is Al Unser Jr. Sammy Swindell out of Memphis, Tennessee. Your leader with 4 laps down. We've got 16 laps to go. The 20-lap main event at the Knoxville Raceway. And we have a car losing wheel over in turn number 3, which will bring out the yellow flag. Nobody on their top. Just wheel flew off. Wheel flew off. I know. What's up? I don't know. Okay. Wheel flying off the car of that turn 3. As you can probably tell in the background, it's a little wild up here. Looks like 29, I'm not sure. As the cars come down the straightaway, running very slow while they get the wrecker over there and pick up the car. It may have been the 28 car. We'll have to wait and see. Sammy Swindell, your leader. Steve Kinzer running second. Ron Schumann holding for third. Gary Scott running fourth. Jeff Swindell running fifth. Danny Smith running sixth. Al Unser Jr. running seventh. And the car that was running eighth was a car, I'm sure, that lost the wheel. So now running eighth. Running eighth now is Bobby Davis Jr. out of Memphis, Tennessee. Here tonight on the second night of qualification. Steve Kinzer in the Bob Trosson Sprinter. Doug Wolfgang tonight setting a brand new one-lap record in qualifications, breaking last night's mark of Mike Brooks. Doug Wolfgang setting a new record of 20.118. And due to good old lady luck in Doug Wolfgang's heat race, he ran a half a lap and that was it. The car was not pumping any fuel into the injection system, and it cannot run without fuel going into the injection system. And that was that for Doug Wolfgang. His chance for the 500-point total was very, very high, especially with that 20.118. And had Doug Wolfgang got to run and would have picked up 500 points, as Mike Brooks picked up 500 points last night, the pole position would have went to the fastest qualifying time, which would have been Doug Wolfgang. Doug would have been on the inside pole, Brooks on the outside pole, but that did not happen due to lady luck. Doug Wolfgang will be running somewhere probably around the C main. He has around 380 some points right now. As the emergency crews finish up between 3 and 4. We'll be underway here momentarily. Sammy Swindell out of Memphis, Tennessee, looking to pick up not 500 points, but enough points to set up on that front row position. Coming off the car number 28, that was Mike Peters coming off the car 28. As the track is clear, the pace car will be coming in next lap around, and we'll be back underway. We were working on lap number 6, so we probably revert back to lap number 5. That's the way our papers show. We were working on lap number 6. And of course, when the yellow flag comes out, revert back to the previous lap. As soon as the track is fully cleared and the cars are set in single file restart, we'll be underway one more time. Have a car out of position. We'll try to pick out which one it is. Jim Gatch moving to one space back as the 22 car moves up one space. Be a single file restart. Have everybody in order right at this time, it looks like. So this time around, the pace car should be coming off as Steve Coons puts away the caution flag. Pace car will be coming off. Pace car is off. Sammy Swindell will be leading the pack out of turn 4. Steve Kinzer right there. Ron Schumann was sticking his nose right in beside Kinzer 3 or 4 times already. And Kinzer may have his hands full. 5 laps down. We're back to 4. Okay, yellow lights are still on as our eyes will be on Steve Coons. Steve's not quite ready yet. He's not satisfied as some of the cars are setting aside beside. Steve wants a single file restart. Ron Schumann holding for 3rd. Gary Scott running 4th. Jim Swindell running 5th. Danny Smith running 6th. Running 7th is Al Unser Jr. Running 8th is Bobby Davis Jr. As the yellow lights go off, the cars go down the back straightaway. Swindell picking up the pace, coming between 3 and 4. Not this trip. A lot of passing in the back straightaway. So we'll take one more trip around a half mile. A single file restart must be in order. And a very big must during the Nationals, because each place is worth points. So yellow lights are off one more time. Our eyes are on Steve Coons. The green flag's out as Swindell brings us out of turn 4 down to fresh straightaway. Your leader, Sammy Swindell. Running 2nd, Steve Kinzer. Running 3rd, Ron Schumann. Running 4th, Gary Scott. Running 5th is Jeff Swindell. Running 6th is Danny Smith. Al Unser Jr. right beside him as they go down the back straightaway. Not quite there, though. Danny Smith running 6th. Al Jr. running 7th as Al Jr. running low. Smith high as they come out of turn 4. Al Jr. trying to get around him. Al Jr. side by side with Danny Smith, can't quite get it done. Al Jr. low, Smith high as they move between 1 and 2. Al Jr. and Danny Smith battling after that 6th place position, can't quite get it done. Danny Smith takes her over one more time. Running 2nd 7th is Steve Kidner running 3rd. There's Ron Schumann. Running 4th is the Jeff Swindell. Running 4th now is Jeff Swindell. Running 5th is Gary Scott. Running 6th, Denny Smith. Running 7th is Al Unser Jr. Running 8th is Bob Davis Jr. Down the back straightaway. We're 7 laps down of the 20-lap main event. Second out of qualification here at the Knoxville Raceway. Way high. Al Jr. breaks loose, goes way high. He brings her back down, though. He's okay. Al Jr. now running in that 7th spot. As Jim Gatch closing engines going into turn 1, he just drops the oil on the track to who laid the rail. Jim Gatch dropping the oil on the track going into turn 1. It's looking this way. We were working on lap number 8. Sammy Swindell, your leader. Steve Kidner holding for 2nd. Ron Schumann running 4th. Or 3rd, rather. Jeff Swindell running 4th. Gary Scott running 5th. Danny Smith running 6th. Al Jr. running 7th right now. As we will revert back as he got passed on that particular lap. And we revert back to the preceding lap. Pace car coming into the infield. It will be underway one more time for the remaining laps. 13 laps of the second night of qualifications here at the 1980 Sprint Car Nationals as the caution lights go off. Sammy Swindell will be bringing between 3 and 4. He's got the foot down. The green flag's out. We're underway. Sammy Swindell, Ron Schumann trying to get under Steve Kidner down the fresh straightaway. Can't quite get her done. Ron Schumann low, Kidner high as they go between 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. They're still side by side. Kidner pulling ahead just a little bit now. Kidner out of turn 4 they come. Your leader, Sammy Swindell. Running 2nd, Steve Kidner. Running 3rd, Ron Schumann running 4th. Jeff Swindell running 5th now is Danny Smith running 6th. Gary Scott running 7th is Al Unser Jr. running 8th is Shane Carson. They go down the back straightaway. Danny Smith running high. Gary Scott's low. Is Gary Scott trying to get back up there? He can't quite get it done. Danny Smith still holding on to that 5th spot. Gary Scott running 6th. Al Jr. running 7th. As they move down the back straightaway, your leader is still Sammy Swindell. He's got about 8 car lengths lead over Steve Kidner. Kidner with about a 6 car length lead over Ron Schumann. Schumann with about a 4 car length lead over Jeff Swindell as they come down the fresh straightaway. Danny Smith, Gary Scott battling it out for that number 5 spot. They're side by side between the turns down the back straightaway. Danny Smith jumps in that 5th spot. Gary Scott holding for 6th. Scott's catching him between the corners, but he can't quite get it done on the straightaway. Sammy Swindell, your leader. We're 11 laps down of the 20-lap main event here at the Knoxville Raceway. The second out of qualifications for the 1980 Sprint Car Nationals. Al Unser Jr. trying to get around. Gary Scott can't quite get it done down the back straightaway. Al Unser Jr. trying to get around Gary Scott for that number 6 spot. Out of turn 4 comes your leader, Sammy Swindell. Still holding for 2nd, Steve Kidner running 3rd, Ron Schumann running 4th is Jeff Swindell. Running 5th is Danny Smith. Running 6th now is Al Unser Jr. Scott's high. Scott going back to that 6th spot. Carson's right there on the outside. Now running 6th. 7th. Al Unser Jr. dropping back to 8th. It's Danny Smith high against the fence. Carson trying to get back in there around Gary Scott out of turn 4 for that 5th spot. Can't quite get it done. Danny Smith just barely hanging on. Gary Scott trying to get that number 5 spot back. Your leader between 3 and 4 is still Sammy Swindell. Running 2nd is Steve Kidner. Running 3rd, Ron Schumann. Right behind him, only 2 cars behind him. Still running 4th is Jeff Swindell. Out of turn 4 comes Gary Scott now running 5th. Running 6th, Danny Smith. Running 7th is still Al Unser Jr. as Shane Carson drops back to 8th. Al Unser Jr. running 7th. Shane Carson running 8th. Down the back straightaway, Al Unser Jr. trying to get around Danny Smith for that 6th spot. We're 14 laps down on 20-lap main event. Your leader, Sammy Swindell, down the fresh straightaway to turn one. Steve Kinder still holding for second. As Jeff Swindell moves into for third now, down the fresh straightaway. Ron Schumann now running fourth. Gary Scott running fifth. Al Unser Jr. running sixth. Danny Smith running seventh. Your leader, Sammy Swindell, his brother Jeff Swindell running third, trying to get Steve Kinder for that second spot. Ron Schumann holding for fourth. Gary Scott trying to hold on that fifth spot as Al Unser Jr. is running sixth. Danny Smith trying to get in there to get that sixth spot back from him. We're 17 laps, working on lap number 17. We're working on lap number 17. Sammy Swindell looking for a feature win here tonight. He's got about a straightaway late over Steve Kinder. Kinder's about 7 car lengths ahead of Jeff Swindell. Jeff's about 6 car lengths ahead of Ron Schumann. Schumann is about turn 1 and turn 2 lead over Gary Scott. Your leader out of turn 4 down the front straightaway is Sammy Swindell. Ron Schumann trying to catch Steve Kinder but can't quite get it done. Ron Schumann wanted to catch Steve Kinder but couldn't get it done. Jeff Swindell slipped by him about 2 laps ago. White flag will be coming out this trip. Out of turn 4 comes your leader, Sammy Swindell, and Steve Kinder continues to ride the rim. Down the front straightaway they go. We're on the last lap of the 20-lap main event for Sammy Swindell. Still holding second, Steve Kinder holding running third now is Ron Schumann. Running fourth is Jeff Swindell. Running fifth, Gary Scott. Running sixth is Al Unser Jr. Down the back straightaway it goes into turn 3. Sammy Swindell, he's riding the rim high. Out of turn 4, down the front straightaway it comes your winner, Sammy Swindell. Running second will be Steve Kinder. Running third will be Ron Schumann. Running fourth will be Jeff Swindell. Running fifth will be Gary Scott. Running sixth will be Al Unser Jr. Running seventh, Danny Smith. Running eighth, Shane Carson. Running ninth will be Dick Morris. Running 10th will be Leroy Van Conant. Al Unser Jr. almost catching Gary Scott coming down the straightaway, but not quite. And the winner of tonight's 20-lap main event at Knoxville Raceway, Sammy Swindell. This is Terry Messick for Rusty Ebert. We'll see you on pit side.
You just heard the main event.